Hello, everybody. It's me, Phuong Linh here, and today I'm going to talk about how to be a good listener. 1. What does being a great listener mean to you, and how might it differ from simply hearing someone speak? When you listen to another person talk, you could feel what they want to share. You could understand what they really want you to understand. Maybe their feelings, maybe how to solve a problem, and things like that. But when you just hear, then you just hear the sounds coming in and you understand what those sounds mean. You don't actually want to feel the emotion in those words. 2. Why do you think most conversations fail to achieve results even when people are talking to each other? When people talk to each other, it's just about hearing about each other. But when you actually listen, you could understand. You could understand what the other person wants, what the other person needs, and you could help them. And when conversations just stop at hearing, then they would never achieve the results that they want. In your own experience, what negative outcomes have you noticed when someone didn't listen in the way the speaker need? I have a friend, and at that moment, she was really sad. And she wanted to share it with one of her friends. It was not me, I was just looking at her. I was listening to their conversation, and I saw that my friend just wanted to share her feelings. She wanted to feel understood, but her friend just, t- let's say my friend name is A and her friend's name is B. A just wanted to feel understood and listened, while B just was just trying to find something that could help in that situation. She was trying to share about her bad experience at her work, and B was just trying to find a solution for that problem instead of listening to how A was feeling. And A was like really sad and she cried. Like at that moment, she just burst into tears, and I think it's just because B listened in a way that A didn't really need. The presenters describe different ways of listening. Can you think of a situation where listening to support was more important than solving the problem? Well, in the talk four there was four ways of listening shared. The first one is discern listening. When you listen in the discern type, you evaluate the information. You try to look into each information without actually looking at the whole picture. And then you just understand like each piece of information. The second one is immerse listening, which is understanding and remembering the content. Let's just say it was your first day at work, and when you were trying to like look into the evaluate the information, you could just try to remember the things that your bosses say, and that's much more needed in your first day at work. That's immense listening. The third kind is advanced listening. Like you want to achieve something. You try to move people, projects, or processes forward. You want to reach your goal. And last kind, which is the fourth one, is support listening. It's about meeting their emotional need. Like in my example, my friend A, she just wanted to get support listening, while um friend B just tried like discern listening, like tried evaluating the information and tried to solve the problem without actually helping A like release her emotions. So that was a situation where listening to support was more important than just solving the problem. How might listening to advance help change the outcome of a conversation about a project or a task? When you listen in like the advanced kind, you want to reach the goal that you actually set forward. In a task or a project, then if you really had to meet a deadline, then advanced listening is like really needed, and that is when listening to advance helps to change the outcome a lot. Why is it sometimes helpful to listen, to immerse without interrupting or giving feedback right away. When you listen to immerse listening, you need to really understand and remember the content in your head. Let's say it was your first day at work, the example of your first day. Then the boss wouldn't want you to say, hey, this should be changed. That is not good. He or she would want you to listen and understand and remember the things that they said. So that is when immersed listening is like really helpful without interrupting. What are the strengths and risks of listening to discern when giving feedback or evaluating someone's ideas? When you listen and the discern listening, then you would want to evaluate their ideas. But there are some risks, like when they just like really wanted to reach their goal and their deadline, and you keep giving out like their negative sides, then they would be like really angry because they just wanted to reach the goal. They didn't care much about the risk or the things, but you just kept talking about it. So that's not a thing that you should do. I think so. So, next question. How can you tell which listening style someone else needs from you in a given moment? Well, there are many ways to actually recognize that, but you could listen mostly to their tone, to how they were sharing things with you, and you could choose the most suitable way to actually listen in those 4 ways. Can you describe a recent conversation where using one of these listening styles changed the outcome for the better? What did you learn from that experience? Well, I get a lot of experiences about support listening. It was like when my friend was like really sad because she got low grade. And well, at first I just tried to give her some tips to study better, to get higher grades. But then I started to realize like supporting is what she really needs right at that moment. So I kind of just shared with her, like listened to her talk, like if she was sad, then I could help her feel better, or maybe just listening to her, it would help a lot. So that's an experience where support listening was like really needed. So just by supporting and listening to what my friend wanted to say, then the outcome was like much better than the example of friend A and friend B. Yeah. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.